We live everywhere we supposed to be. All right. We got some new features. Let's see here. Yo, quick question while we're doing all this. Who's the best pound for pound boxer in the world right now?
Gotta go with Canelo.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering if it's still him or is there a debate out there? I
It's
don't
a
know.
it's a debate, but
Who's in that debate though?
it's Terrence Crawford.
Oh yeah, Bud. Yeah, yeah. Bud's might be my favorite boxer I want to see come up, but you know.
Yeah, it all depends on like who list you look at. Some people got Canelo at one. Some people got Terrence Crawford at one.
Yeah. All right. Yo, go on the Indio group page and share the live video. So we're live on Facebook and YouTube.
I think I was just on that joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we're live on YouTube. So let's see. Let's see. Yes, sir. We are live on YouTube as well. So now we got the new feature with the live chat. So yeah, we're gonna take a little bit to start this up. This is the first week with the new technology.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Hold on real quick. Hey yo, anybody tuning in? We testing out new technology right now. All right, all right. Let's see. The new software. Yeah. So right now it's on Facebook and it's on YouTube. All right, let me see. All right. I'm trying to find out what you did. All right. So we're about 2.5 minutes in. Yeah, Dave, we're just gonna have to thug it until we get everything right. I want to make sure that we can share this.
Mm-hmm.
I tag Reg. So everything pops up right here. So this is dope. So if somebody comments here
Mm-hmm.
or on Facebook or on YouTube, it all pops up here. So now we get to get everybody's involvement.
Gotcha.
I'm just guessing. Let's try to tag up the homies, let them know how it's going down, and it's going to show up on YouTube. So the comments are going to show up on both places too, and we got like closed captioning and all that. So that's pretty crazy too. I don't think we need that. Let me see. All right. Mm, what's going on here? Mm, mm. All right, there we go. All right, man. Let's get to it, man. Pick and Roll Podcast, episode 42. Everybody who's watching or who's going to be watching, notice the new layout. I tagged a few people on social media just to show you that no matter whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook watching, we get comments from both. So we'll be able to, you know what I mean, respond, interact with everybody. And we can also bring people in remotely to the podcast too. So we can zoom them in like around the horn.
Right,
and I can give them the buzzer like Tony Reality. Yeah, I can mute you. I can do whatever I want. Anybody come with the weirdo stuff, we get you up out of here. That's what it is, man.
I miss our only heckler.
Yeah, man. Our heckler, he was a creep.
I miss that guy. Man.
Yeah, we
Where
need
you
the
at,
creeps.
man?
Yeah, man. Yo, creep, come back, man. Anytime we go live, though, we're good for like one creep on YouTube.
Mhm.
So that's what's up, man. Pick and Roll Podcast, episode 42. We had to take a week off. Super Dave, he had a lot going on. You know what I mean? It was Super Bowl week. He was hungover. The loss of the NFL season got to me. I really didn't want to do the podcast either, man. I was still in mourning that it was going to be no more football, and that all my tickets that didn't hit, that because I did my annual online betting from my phone.
Right.
Yeah, nothing hit.
I was in pretty good shape until Beckham got hurt.
Yo, so I got the Beckham yards because I listened to you and I took some of your bets and it worked out. But Joe Mixon let me down. He didn't get the yards I thought he would get in the receiving yards. He didn't get the rushing or the receiving yards I thought he would get. And I missed on something else small. It might have been the kicker or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that was $1,200 that wasn't in my pocket.
Right.
And then I was out a couple hundred because I decided to play blackjack on there on DraftKings.
Yeah.
Which is the worst app for blackjack. I'm not here to like whatever. I'm here to let you know. Do not play blackjack there. You cannot surrender hands. Yeah, come on, man. Like, that's part of the game. How you not going to have part of the game? But anyway, Pick and Roll Podcast, episode 42. A lot happened. Let's start with the Super Bowl. It's the end of the NFL season.
Right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how entertained were you by the Super Bowl?
I was entertained throughout the whole playoffs.
Okay.
It was only a few games that was like that weren't very entertaining. Bucks,
Anything
Eagles,
involving the Eagles, yeah, was
Bucks,
not entertaining.
Eagles, Pittsburgh and Kansas City wasn't very entertaining.
Not at all. It was entertaining for the first quarter and 2 minutes.
Other than that, all the games were pretty exciting.
Yeah.
All the way up until the Super Bowl. Super Bowl was pretty exciting. I was expecting a close game. I was glad it wasn't a blowout.
I was happy it was a close game, but there was a sloppiness to it.
A little bit.
Like you looked at two beat up teams, and the injuries really didn't. I didn't feel good about watching those injuries go down. Like especially
Beckham.
Yeah, Beckham. Shout out to my man Chris Walker. He's tapped in with us. Yeah, I wasn't happy about the injuries. I didn't feel like excellence was in the Super Bowl. On the Rams' part, it was the injuries, but the Bengals looked like
they weren't supposed to be there.
Exactly. So it was like NFL chaos. Now you're starting to see, you might see a team just be outmatched because I don't believe it would have been a close game without the Beckham injury and a couple of other injuries.
Yeah, I think if Odell don't get hurt, I think they're gonna blow him out.
Yeah, definitely. So Matt Stafford, how do you view him now that he has a Super Bowl?
I always thought he was a good quarterback. He was just stuck in Detroit.
Got you.
He put up numbers in Detroit, but it's Detroit. Like, what do you expect? To what you're gonna do in Detroit Lions? Like, two of their best players retired at 30, so you already know. Like, all right, I'm not gonna go so far playing for the Lions.
Got you. Yo, shout out to Reg. He says he gives the Super Bowl a 9. Bengals would have went for it on 4th down. If the Bengals, he said Bengals should have went for it on 4th down.
Which play?
No, they did go for it on 4th down.
They did go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, he said Bengals would have went for it. I don't know what he means by that, but Matt Stafford, to me, it's time for people to get off his back. I'm proud of anybody who escapes NFL hell. That's what the Detroit Lions were. If Mike McMahon would have went to another team and won a Super Bowl, I'm happy.
Right.
If Jared Goff plays here for 3 or 4 years, gets them back to contention, but they can't get over the hump, then later in his career wins the Super Bowl, I'm happy. Because Detroit is not a happy place for football.
Detroit is not a happy place, period.
Yeah, man. So that's my thing. I think Matt Stafford, I knew he was a good enough quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
I'm glad he finally had the team around him to do it. Because a younger Matt Stafford would have been able to do a lot more and wouldn't have needed as much talent.
Yeah.
I think people forget, like the Calvin Johnson year, a lot of the other years, Matt Stafford was out there balling every game. He was playing hurt. He was laying it on the line. He's your warrior at quarterback.
Right.
And I really appreciated the fact that he won.
Matt Stafford was the quarterback for 2 of the greatest receiving seasons ever.
Yeah, look, people don't understand what the difference is when you can hit every throw.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Stafford can stand in the pocket, hit every throw. He has just enough escapability, and he just has an absolute cannon.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just about accuracy. He just got a cannon.
But I mean, like, the moral of the story is he was just stuck in Detroit.
I'm gonna ask you a question. That no-look throw he made, is that a top 5 Super Bowl all-time throw?
Yeah. And it's I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah,
because he did it at such a crucial point of the game on the game-winning drive, and I believe that was like a 3rd down, and he got the first down with the no look. But what people don't realize is he's been doing that his whole career, but you don't see it as much because he was in Detroit.
Yeah,
and the only national TV game they get is
Thanksgiving. The Turkey Leg Award,
and it's at 12:00. Like, nobody's really watching the 12:00 game.
So what Red said, they should have went for it on 4th when they punted with the 3-point lead. I don't know. They play the percentages, and that's who Cincinnati was. They're a play it safe, stay within yourself team.
Analytics.
And they figured they'll be there at the end, which they normally are. It's just they ran into a better team.
I get it. I get it on that part where, like, they punted because when Beckham got hurt, that pretty much made the Rams one-dimensional because they could not run the ball at all.
Yeah.
So I get it. I mean, I guess the Bengals were saying, like, we'll punt and our defense, we know they're going to pass, so we will get the ball back.
Right.
But it didn't work out in their favor.
Yeah, definitely. But back to the top 5 throws of all time. I got to go Montana to Dwight Clark. Back of the end zone when he's rolling right and he fires to Dwight Clark.
That wasn't a Super Bowl. That was an NFC Championship.
That was an NFC Championship? I don't know why I always thought that was a Super Bowl.
That was against the Cowboys.
It was against the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Mario Manningham, Eli Manning is in my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
That throw to seal that game,
down the sideline.
I don't think people understand how tight that window was.
Yeah.
Roethlisberger to Santonio Holmes. That's another amazing throw and catch.
Me personally, I still don't think he got 2 feet down, but we can't change that now.
I'm not sure I know what the other 2 is, but I got to put that Stafford no-look throw in there because that's a big-time throw for a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
And you don't see a lot of big-time passing plays in Super Bowls. Mm-mm. You might see somebody get burnt, but you rarely see like a high skill or high acrobatic play in the Super Bowl. I think we need to do that. Top 5 Super Bowl plays. We got to come back and do that one episode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But where do the Bengals go from here? What I would say this because we saw Andy Dalton. I mean, I said Andy Dalton. I'm tripping. Joe Burrow.
Right.
Joe Burrow. Do you think he's ascended into that top 5 quarterback list?
I don't think he's there yet.
Okay.
I think he's on his way. I think Cincy, I know they got a lot of cap room. They got to figure out what they're going to do with Jesse Bates. Are they going to tag him?
Yeah.
I mean, they need him.
Mm-hmm.
But they really have to address that O-line. They have to address it.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
If you don't address that O-line, Joe Burrow he might go down as the next Andrew Luck.
You don't want that to happen at all.
No.
Because his knee was hurt. He sprained his knee, right?
Yeah.
In the middle of the Super Bowl, too.
Yeah.
And I just, I was worried about him all season. I thought that was going to be the reason they didn't get through the playoffs, and they made it in spite of his injuries. And then you saw, like, Aaron Donald was just in the backfield all fourth quarter.
Once the Rams turned it on, like, there was really the Rams made a slight adjustment. I don't know if you saw it in the Super Bowl. The Bengals center was turning his back on the other person and going to get Aaron Donald. So what they did was the Rams would shoot a linebacker in that A gap. So now the center has to honor this A gap blitz, and that was leaving Aaron Donald 1-on-1 with the backup guard. And what that little adjustment, that's when, because Burrow got sacked 7 times, 6 came in the second half. So once they made that adjustment and gave that center a look, the Rams was just there.
I'll ask you this: what do you think about Aaron Donald contemplating whether he wants to retire soon or not? Because I think he's he's not old. He's in the prime of his career.
I think it was just a money push.
Okay, so you think he's negotiating?
Yeah, he doesn't have any more guaranteed money on his contract.
Oh, I got you.
So I think that's just, look, I'll walk away. Make me the highest paid defensive player.
I got you. And what about Sean McVay? What do you think about McVay? Because he's talking about walking away. And he's what, 35 years old, 34 years old?
I think he wants more money too, because he's only making $5 million.
So what do you think the going rate is for a coach of
like
that
10
caliber? So like 10 million.
Yeah.
You think Sean McVay deserves a $10 million extension for however many years?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I don't disagree with that either. I mean, the guy's gotten the 2 Super Bowls. He's one of the hottest young coaches ever. He's finally got that ring. And this team is looking like they can compete for the next 2 or 3 years.
Yo, you know what's crazy that people might frown upon or say we don't know what we talk about?
Yeah.
Sean McVay's coaching tree is doing is better than Belichick's coaching tree.
Talk about it.
He's what he got? The coach on the Bengals.
Yeah, Zach Taylor.
LaFleur.
Uh-huh.
Just those 2 alone is better than anything that came off of Belichick's tree.
Yeah.
So then he just got his offensive coordinator, just the kid Staley, that's the head coach of the Chargers.
Yeah.
He's the up and coming. They're gonna be decent with Justin Herbert.
This reminds me of the 90s when all Mike Holmgren's coaches were branching off and everybody was making moves and they're just crowding the NFL with good coaching. That's what it kind of reminds me of. One of my takeaways from the Super Bowl was that I appreciated the lack of terrible officiating. Like I felt like the officials let them play because I was worried, you know, that I was like, oh my God, I just don't want to see a disaster here. And I don't want to see, you know, the Bengals already had a questionable situation earlier in the playoffs that may have given them a win against the Raiders. I was happy that the NFL showed up and they did not allow the refs to get involved. They let actual defense be played.
Right.
It got very physical out there. The one call that was missed, Jalen Ramsey got.
Oh,
he got mobbed.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, this is as bad as it's going to get tonight. Mm-hmm. And it didn't go any further. Mm-hmm. They got a touchdown off of that.
Right.
So once again, the Bengals get a touchdown off of something that should have been flagged. But
that was like the holding call on Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
It could go either way.
Uh-huh.
It could go how, like, whatever angle the official was, it could go either way. One official might say, all right, I didn't see anything. Another official might say, I saw the grab. But that Jalen Ramsey one down the sideline when he got his face mask grab, that was blatant.
Yo, it was blatant. And he threw him to the ground.
Right.
So my thing is, I'm one of those people, I'm into the politics of the sport. I really need the NFL to clean up officiating once and for all this year. Let's start challenging everything.
Right.
I think you should get 2 challenges a half, but they need to cut the challenge time in half. Once the challenge flag is thrown, we don't need the refs on the field to go look at a TV. They need to stand around while New York looks at it.
Right.
Send it up to Goodell. Send it to Goodell. Just blast his phone. I don't care if he got 7 calls at once. Somebody outside of the stadium has to handle this just to restore faith in what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I just definitely want to see NFL officiating step it up a notch. I will say this, though, just to have a little fun with it. How do you rate the halftime show?
It was a 10.
You call it a 10?
It was a 10.
Because those are a lot of those are my favorite artists. Like I'm an Aftermath, Dr. Dre, Eminem,
I liked it.
Guy.
I liked it.
I wasn't that impressed, man.
I liked it. It was one of the better halftime shows.
I think I want to hear "Be Pleased" by Snoop and Exhibit. You know, I want to hear like the harder stuff. You know, and then 50 hanging upside down. That was cool to see, but he looked like his body was under a lot of duress.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the blood was rushing to his head. It looked kind of crazy.
He was like, hurry up, call me up.
And then You know, of course, the NFL was upset with Eminem for taking a knee. Listen, man, look, it's over.
It's over.
You know, it's over. Look, y'all can't stop it. You've already agreed that black people matter, and you got this Brian Flores thing. You might have to just overlook this. All right, and I don't think Eminem cares if you don't invite him back.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I don't think that's a problem.
No.
Let's talk about this Brian Flores thing for a minute. He's with the Steelers now as a position coach and / assistant, defensive coordinator, head coach, quality control. You know, they got these weird positions they give out nowadays.
He's got a job.
All right. Following the heels of the lawsuit, how do you feel about that?
I think for him to get in the league and stay in the league, I think the only team that would have given him a shot was the Steelers.
Yeah.
That was it. I don't think any other team was going to touch him.
Yeah, the thing is, I appreciate that Mike Tomlin gave him that opportunity. Now, I don't know if it's a situation where he's saying maybe you can take over if I decide to step down, because Mike Tomlin might have one of the more secure jobs in the league.
Yeah.
But given the last few years, we don't know how far Mike Tomlin is away from having to leave Pittsburgh.
Right.
You know, because they're not improving. They got questions at quarterback. You know, you don't know what their receiving core is going to look like because Juju's up. He needs money. A couple other guys need money. And you got to rebuild that defense. So they got a really big offseason. I guess on the scale of 1 to 10, what do you think the chances are of Brian Flores being pegged as a possible replacement to Tomlin?
Probably like a 2. I'm not really worried.
So you think Tomlin sticks around and just keeps going?
Yeah, I just like the Steelers, they don't fire coaches. Like their coaches walk away or retire.
Listen, Chuck Noll was there forever.
Right.
And then it went Bill Cowher.
Right. And then now Mike Tomlin. So like they give you the longest leash ever. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, green, yellow. They give you the longest leash ever. And he's like, even though the past few years, like the Steelers weren't the Steelers of old.
Yeah.
He's still been putting out pretty good product besides the quarterback position.
Yeah. I saw something the other day where they were like Marcus Mariota. They're looking at possible guys like him. I said, nah, Steelers got to aim big, man. Go get Deshaun Watson or somebody.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. You gotta. Yeah, the Steelers, like they're not like a lower tier quarterback team. Like
no,
they go big.
No, Marcus Mariota would get ran out of town.
Yes,
with the quickness.
Yes.
Let's talk about more NFL news. It's a lot going on with Aaron Rodgers. So today a report came out where the GM is saying, I never promised Aaron a trade, and I'm not answering calls for a bunch of draft picks and things like that. He's pretty much holding the line that says we're going to do whatever it takes to keep Aaron Rodgers. Do you how genuine do you think that is?
I think he has to say that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna knowing how sensitive Aaron Rodgers is and he was all last offseason. If he comes out with anything negative, Aaron Rodgers is gonna blow up and be like, "Oh, get me out of here." So I think when the camera's on, he has to be politically correct and say things that's gonna make Aaron Rodgers smile. But behind closed doors, when there's no cameras rolling, I'm pretty sure, like, man, like we need to hurry up and like get this thing situated, and because they're what 40 something over the cap,
yeah.
So they need, and then Devontae Adams' contract is not even on that. So once they tag him, that's when it goes into effect. So Aaron Rodgers needs to like hurry up and figure out what he's gonna do, because all that fighting he did to get the leverage that he has the power because they're pretty much waiting on him.
Yeah.
So
my thing was, I think Adams has to go. I don't think you can afford to keep him because the Packers still have the most balanced roster in football by far. I think like they have both sides covered. Their defense is good at all three levels. The offense is good in just about every area. And I'm not saying you can easily replace Devontae Adams, but you can't give him that money and get Aaron Rodgers what it needs. I think they're going to have to look at maybe a collection of players for some of what you'll have to give a Devontae Adams to stay. And tag and trade him. That's it. Tag and trade him. Get you some draft picks. You can find some talented young receivers and a cadre of guys that can do different things. You can put together a dynamic receiving core without spending $1 billion.
Right.
You know, so looking at that, I'm just thinking like, you know, but what team out there do you think Aaron Rodgers can go to and they'll automatically be a Super Bowl contender?
Denver.
The way the Packers were.
Denver, Tennessee.
See, that's where we disagree. I think Denver's far away.
I think they were just. I think Denver is just one quarterback away. They were top 3, like they were top 5 in scoring defense last year. They got a nice receiving group. They got 2 decent running backs. All it was missing was a quarterback.
So you're saying Denver, if he goes to Denver, they have as much of a chance to compete for a Super Bowl as he does in Green Bay?
Yeah.
See, I highly disagree, and I'll say that because the NFC North, there's a coaching change going on with the Vikings. The Bears are stuck in neutral.
See, we're not. See,
and Detroit stinks.
See, we're not talking about. We're just talking about team for team.
Yeah, but I think that's a big part of it.
I think he could go. I think he could go to Denver and he could have the same opportunity that he had in Green Bay. He can turn that into Denver.
Yeah,
but the division will be tougher.
The division the conference.
Yeah, the division and the conference would be tougher.
Yeah,
and you could say the same thing about if he goes to Tennessee. Tennessee was the number 1 seed with a bad quarterback. If he goes, if you take Tannehill out and you slide Aaron Rodgers in there with the defense that they had and Derrick Henry, and then the 2 receivers that they got, he's right back pushing the Kansas City to go to the Super Bowl.
I think Tennessee definitely is probably the best team for him to go to because you have Derrick Henry and the receivers are good. They just don't have a quarterback that I think can maximize their potential. Even if they could get over top consistently, Tannehill can't get it there.
What do you think about him going to the Colts?
The Colts, they're a dark horse. I like where they're at in their division with the Texans, the Jaguars, and Tennessee. He would definitely make them better than Tennessee, but the receiving core is just, I don't believe in the receiving core there.
I think they'll get
AJ Brown is better than everybody on Indianapolis by far.
Yeah. But what's the kid? Michael Pittman Jr. He's pretty decent. And then
he's coming around.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that they'll get another receiver.
Yeah. Red says he disagrees because of the conference. I think they're going to the AFC. If you're Aaron Rodgers and you're about winning, stay in the NFC.
Yeah, because I mean now that Tom Brady's retired, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But now it's like the only team in the NFC, if he stays in Green Bay, it's like the only team in the NFC that would stand in his way is the Rams. Rams and the Niners, because he can't beat the Niners.
Yeah, he can't beat the Niners for some reason. But see, I think you can retool your team to compete with the Niners.
Yeah.
Because they have to answer their own quarterback question. And I just saw today some proposed trades with Jimmy Garoppolo. Where do you think the Niners find the best trade partner? I saw New Orleans, and that kind of makes sense. And I saw Washington.
If that's a real possibility, then I would go with the Washington one, because then you'll pair Chase Young with Joey Bosa.
That would be unfair
or Nick
for
Bosa,
a lot of teams. Yeah, Nick Bosa. Yeah. Having Chase Young and Nick Bosa on your D line would be that's, you might see some all-time D line play there,
right?
And especially since the defense is actually good at linebacker as well,
right?
You know, usually like with the Rams, D line good, linebacker suspect. Half of the secondary is good,
right?
You know what I'm saying? They had to get Eric Weddle off the couch to shore that thing up. So I think the Niners, you have a chance of seeing an all-time defense there.
Yeah. If they make that trade, you can really put the Niners up there, potentially up there with the 85 Bears and the 86 Giants, and
might have 2 DNs with 15 sacks,
right? And then you got Armstead up the middle.
Oh my gosh! Niners fans, all you can do is hope.
Yeah, you would never. Yeah, and then your back end of your defense would be so fresh because you would never have to blitz.
Never. That's something. That's something.
I mean, I'll be cool with it. That means Chase Young is out of the NFC East.
Yeah.
And if Jimmy G goes to the Commanders, I could deal with facing Jimmy G twice a year.
So we're talking Russell Wilson now. Scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances you think he's out of there?
I think I'm at a 5 with that, because it's like, where would you send him?
I've been thinking about this more and more, right? and it's only because we're in the Philly area. I think the Eagles should make that trade. They should give up 3 first-round picks because I believe they have an extra pick this year.
From the Colts, yeah, they got 3 first rounds.
Okay, give that up. Give up 2 more. Get Russell Wilson. You still got a first-round pick this year, and you draft the receiver late first.
Look,
bigger receiver.
We agree with that, but for some reason, since they went to the playoffs this year, I believe the Eagles really think Jalen Hurts is the guy.
Yeah,
and I don't think they're gonna kick the tires on a Russell Wilson or a Deshaun Watson, but I really think they think Jalen Hurts is the guy.
Red said it's a 0 because he has a no trade clause, but they can work around those things. And Russell Wilson will do whatever it takes to get out of Seattle if he's going to a situation he believes in.
Yeah.
But if I'm the Eagles and I saw that trade at first, I was taken back like, whoa, 4 first-round picks. But then I thought about it. For Russell Wilson in that division, now the Cowboys got something to worry about.
It's definitely
Giants are a couple years away. Redskins a couple years away. Commanders. I'm so sorry. Commanders.
That's going to happen a lot.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It still happens. Yeah. I'm still just, we've been watching football so long.
Yeah. They will always be the Redskins.
Exactly. To us. But I just think Russell Wilson's such a greater fit, and he can get more out of that football team. He can get more out of Jalen Reagor, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. Yeah, he loves tight ends.
Yeah.
He makes tight ends go. And then you can really do some legit designs with that offense and make stuff happen for guys like Miles Sanders, Boston Scott. He's just going to lift the level of that football team. And then they can spend the rest of the back half of that draft focusing on that god-awful linebacking core and those second, third, fourth corners and those safeties because they're not good. That team should not have been a playoff team.
No.
If I'm them and that's on the table, I do the deal.
I don't want them to do
it. Red says F. Jalen Reagor. My thing with him is guys like Russell Wilson are next level. They'll get the ball where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And then if he continues to drop, then you can get rid of him. But, there's going to be a lot better throws and a lot better routes. Remember, Jalen Hurts can't exploit all of the routes these guys can run because he doesn't have the capability.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the arm talent either. Russell Wilson has exactly what you need.
It's like Hurts doesn't anticipate the throws.
He's just.
It's like he holds it until his receiver is out of his break and then he throws it.
He's only reading half the field and he's really a one-read quarterback at this point. He's still a rookie as far as where he is and how he plays the game and reads the field. So that's what it is. Let's see here. So any other NFL news, man? Anything else you want to touch on with the league?
We hit the drought. This dude, Tom Brady, doesn't know if he want to retire or play again.
I think it's a strong 8. I'm gonna step out there and say it's a strong 8 on a scale of 1 to 10.
That he comes back. Yeah.
The Buccaneers are made to compete. They can put that team back together and they're right back.
If he comes back, he's going to the 49ers. I probably.
You think he'll go to the Niners? The Buccaneers said they'll do whatever it takes to get Tom Brady back. And you ain't got to pay Antonio Brown, so that's $10 million back in your pocket.
But you got to. A lot of them guys came back on 1-year deals, so you gotta
re them up.
Yeah. Are they gonna want to run it back?
I mean, if you look at the way they went out and they almost took the Rams out, you have to run that back. I think Tom Brady has that Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant thing in him, right? Like he's a killer. He's psychotic about winning. I don't think he walks away from the game knowing that he was this close. A missed coverage from
going to the NFC Championship.
Going to the NFC Championship over the Rams with all the injuries and nonsense that he had to go through. He knows he was still there. He walked off that field with the blood in his mouth or whatever. Come on, man. I just think he knows he still has it, and I don't think it's a reason why he shouldn't come back.
Right. I
think it's an 8. I think he's gassing, and it's an 8.
Yeah, I think. I'm around there like 7, 8, but I do think if he comes back, it's gonna be a situation where he waits for Tampa to sign a quarterback.
Yeah.
And then he'll phone him and say, look, I want to come back. And then he's gonna force their hands to either trade him or cut him.
Wow. But if he ends up he always did want to play for the Niners,
Yep.
though. Hometown team, Joe Montana.
Yep.
If he goes to the Niners, they might become our Super Bowl favorite.
Yeah.
They still got some work to do. I see areas on that team where they could make a couple of adjustments, but
I think the Niners, their biggest thing is I think they need corners.
Yeah,
Like,
they definitely need
yeah,
that
their safeties is pretty decent. I just think they need some corners.
Yeah, that's why I didn't bring up their secondary when I talked about how good it could be, because the linebacking core does a lot of pass cover. They can stay in their base defense and still go against 3 wideouts, in a lot of 21 personnel, things like that. So Reg is coming with the T here. He says, did Gruden get exposed because the Washington team was sending cheerleaders to islands with executives? That is way under the rug. There's a lot. I'm curious to see how that plays out.
I don't like that's still like I still want to like see how everything unfolds, because it looks like the NFL just had a vendetta against John Gruden.
Oh yeah. Goodell did it, and I don't think he realized like this. People are gonna ask questions,
right?
And like, Gruden is gonna countersue,
right? It's like that's why I'm like with the Raiders organization. They like bring out all of them emails, not just Gruden's,
right?
Like how I'm still stuck on how can the NFL act on Gruden when the time that those emails happened, he wasn't employed by the NFL.
I'm like you. I just want to know who he's talking to. That's it. Just tell me. I just want to see the conversation.
Right.
If he's saying DeMaurice Smith, the NFL's little lapdog, if he's saying he got big Michelin lips, obviously he's saying it to somebody he feels comfortable saying it to.
Right. And DeMaurice Smith, like he's terrible.
Yeah.
He does not have the best interest of the players at all.
No.
Whatever the owner say, he okay.
He's Roger Goodell's puppet.
Okay.
I've never seen anything like that. Like DeMaurice Smith is just like he's worked against the players time and time again, and the NFL is just going to keep bringing them in. And the NFL just brought in I can't remember the name right now to help them with the Brian Flores lawsuit, but it was one of those political hirings where you just look at yourself and you say, man, y'all just never going to get it together.
They're never going to get it.
The NFL is like our sin. It's like we know it's messed up, but we're going to keep watching
to
support the players. That's how I do it. I'm here to support the players. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But everybody get your money and keep it and get out the game when you feel it's right. Because it's just, I don't know, man. NFL's so dirty, and I'm just waiting for Roger Goodell to get his one day.
Right.
Let's talk about the NBA, though, man.
Yeah, man.
While we were out, we had a week off, so we're going back over it. The biggest trade of the week. We talked about all the other little trades that happened before.
Yeah.
But the biggest trade in the NBA for the trade deadline was James Harden, Ben Simmons. So the Philadelphia 76ers sent 2 pretty much late first round picks to the Nets for 2026 and 2027 to the Nets, along with Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond in exchange for James Harden and Paul Millsap. Just looking at that, laying that on the table, who won the trade?
Short-term Sixers.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Because like now Harden's getting up there in age.
Okay.
And so is Embiid.
33 and Embiid is 28.
Yeah, basketball years 28 is. I mean, you're getting up there.
Yeah, you're getting there. You got about 3 years before we start seeing decline.
Harden's up for that super duper max. So I don't think the Sixers want to give him that full 5 years, because then that'll be paying him $62 million a year at age 37. Yeah. You don't want to be stuck with a junk contract,
junk. You don't want to be NBA junk,
right?
Yeah.
So I think it's win now for the Sixers. Like we need to win within these next 2 years.
I say three if you get another star.
Yeah. So that's why I say short term, and then with the Nets is kind of a long term, because Ben is locked up for what, 3 more years?
Yeah, he's 25 years old,
and KD re-up for 4 years. So you'll have them two. Kyrie's in the contract year, so like they might bring him back on, like, you know what I mean? They might resign him, but the main core for the Nets is locked in. You don't know what's gonna happen, you know what I mean, with the Harden situation. And with the Nets, I think it it was like for me, it was 50-50. I wasn't getting off the phone unless Thibault or Maxey was involved.
Right.
I was not getting off the phone. But since they weren't involved, it was key that they got Drummond. Because what do we talk about? The Nets don't have any interior defense. They don't have any bigs.
Not at all. Yeah.
They couldn't rebound. You address that. Even though they had LaMarcus Aldridge, but he's not Portland's LaMarcus Aldridge.
No.
So getting Drummond was
he's
big.
David Aldridge right now.
Getting Drummond was big. Getting another shooter and Seth Curry was big. So now Ben Simmons could play that Draymond Green's role to where you have Seth over here, you have Kyrie over here, you got KD. So now it's like I could drive and kick it to whoever.
Do it all, man.
Right. Now,
defense, rebounding, passing.
And now you don't have a center like Embiid that's going to be clogging the paint. So now if you got LaMarcus Aldridge out there with Ben Simmons, Aldridge want to shoot the jump shot anyway. So now Ben can operate in that 5 to 10 foot range and get in there and either finish or now he could kick the shooters.
Okay. I totally agree with you. I think the Nets long term it can work out.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think the Sixers won in the short term, and that's because I think this is the best team Harden has ever played on, talent wise, top to bottom. Harden's never played with a player like Embiid after Oklahoma City. Kevin Durant was the only other elite top 5, possibly best player in the world that he's ever played with.
Mm-hmm.
Any other time that he's had to perform, he's carried teams that were built to just do like this little trick and get them to the Western Conference Finals. And he won MVPs that way. He made a lot of people really good three-point shooters that way.
Mm-hmm.
And he was also one of the top 5 scorers we've seen in the last 40 years in the NBA playing that type of basketball. So I think this is right now, with the way the NBA is and the way Joel Embiid is playing, how do you defend the pick and roll? Because I know Seth Curry left, and it would have been great to keep him. I would have given up an extra first rounder to keep Seth Curry with James Harden, because James Harden makes people better shooters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when guys play with James Harden, their percentages jump from 33 to 38, which is a big jump.
Yeah, it's a big
jump.
jump.
That's really hitting threes when it counts.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm looking at the pick and roll, James Harden can go off either hand. He can draw all the fouls. He can score at all 3 levels, and he can do everything in transition Ben could do. So you're adding in a fully developed superstar scoring talent with all of Ben's transition abilities. One thing you're going to lose is defense, but I think that can be mitigated because Embiid covers up a lot of your deficiencies anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But it also lessens the load on players like Korkmaz, like Thibault. Maxey is finally getting the tutelage to be the combo guard that he really is. He's not a pure point guard.
No.
We were trying to teach him, but with Harden being there, Harden can show him how to use a lot of that, and we saw that against the Bucks.
Yeah, Maxey could go back to being like the scorer that he came into the league as.
Yeah.
As that. He was a scorer in high school. He was a scorer in college.
Shout out to Reg. He says, people got to stop calling Harden old. He's a year younger than KD, who's also injured more often, but never looked at as old. But KD's just an absolute killer.
Yeah.
Like I think that's was different. Like KD can score on anybody, anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
He's 7 foot and has all of the shots in his arsenal. All the Steph Curry shots in his arsenal.
See,
so I think that's why.
KD gets hurt a lot because he plays hard.
Yeah. And I think he's playing too many minutes.
Yeah, like Harden hot dogs it sometimes. Like,
yeah,
sometimes you don't know what Harden you're gonna get on a night in, night out basis. Like, so now it's just like you got to hold your breath. Like, am I gonna get the Harden that's gonna give me a 60-point triple double, or am I gonna get the Harden that's gonna go 3 for 30 with 12 turnovers?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know what Harden I'm gonna get. Yeah, I don't know what Harden I'm gonna get.
I think this is where he wanted to be anyway.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that Harden said this was his first choice. And then, you know, if you look at the Sixers, that's really what they needed. This is why they drafted Markelle Fultz. They've been trying to find a top player that could run the pick and roll and score with Embiid. Ben couldn't run the pick and roll because he wasn't a threat to shoot. So all they would do is just sag down, so you never could actually run the pick and roll. And the only thing you could do with the Sixers in previous years was run dribble handoffs with JJ Redick, with Korkmaz, with Seth Curry. You had to keep doing this same play over again. Now, Embiid, we know he can bring the ball up. Harden can bring the ball up. Maxey can bring it up. And then you surround him with nothing but guys that can shoot the three. Now you stop Tobias Harris from putting the ball on the floor. Now Paul Millsap has somebody to run the floor with him and set him up. Harden said one of the greatest things. He said, I think Tobias is a 20-point-a-night guy, and it's my job to get him there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the most important comment that people got to understand, because James Harden, no matter what people want to say about him, they call him a quitter. He hasn't quit more than Ben this year. Ben just didn't show up. You can't quit no greater than that. Like, that's the king quitter. But my thing is with Harden, he pretty much understands that this is probably going to be his best shot over the next couple years to win.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing with the best player in the NBA.
And he has to do it now.
Yeah, it's a 7-foot MVP that scores at all three levels as well. And you saw it against Milwaukee. Giannis cannot stop Embiid. There's nothing that he can do at either end.
Mm-mm.
And that's Giannis's kryptonite. And so I think the Sixers won in the short term. Now, as for the Nets, in my opinion, you're right. Their core is in place. They're doing, but I mean, in the long term, Ben, what is he going to be? How long do you think it takes for this jump shot to develop and then start falling in actual games?
It's just, you have to shoot him.
Yeah.
It's repetitions. Like, you have to like, I've seen a video today where they got Kyle Korver working with him. But here's what I'm impressed with: the video clip that I saw, rather than the video clips that we've been seeing, that we've been shooting these threes in a high school gym.
Oh yeah.
Kyle Korver looked like he was starting from the ground up, doing the stand in front of the basket, bring it up, shoot.
Yeah.
Take a step back, bring it up, shoot, just to get comfortable with doing that. Now I like that. Now, will it translate into the game? Who knows? Only Ben Simmons knows, all right, I'm going to shoot the three in a game. Until that happens, like, we don't know. It's still a mystery.
Well, Ben, see, the problem is, too, like, many people have tried to get Ben to shoot.
Right.
But with his skill set, you got to be able to bring it up off the dribble and shoot it. Like, I can stand you in front of the basket and have you shoot shots all the time. How many of those are you going to get in the game? Your ability is moving the defense. And when you get a quick space, you're a guard. You want to be a guard. You want to be a ball handler. You're going to have to shoot it off the dribble. How long is that going to take to develop?
This is my thing. Like, I always was saying, I'm fine if Ben Simmons doesn't shoot the three. I'm fine with it. If he would just develop like a little 15-foot like pull up,
DeMar DeRozan,
right? If he would just
all
develop that,
yeah,
he would be dangerous.
All mid-range and runners, especially when you're almost 7 foot and it can't be blocked.
Right.
That was always my issue. I said I don't need him to be a 3-point marksman.
No.
I would like to see him score and just be aggressive and just continue to score in the paint, around the basket, score runners, floaters, things like that. If he can do that consistently for the Nets, that's a win for me.
Yes.
And then surround him with actual shooters. Keep the Joe Harrises. See if you can bring back Seth Curry. See if you can go find some other marksmen. Maybe a Buddy Hield could come there after this year. Start finding guys like that to put around him and KD.
Yeah.
Because expecting Ben, like, sometimes Nets fans and people are like, oh, Ben's got a point to prove. He's going to come out and shoot. It doesn't happen overnight.
Mm-mm.
And it might never happen.
Mm.
Ben might be Russell Westbrook when it comes to threes.
Right.
He might hit the side of the backboard from in front of the rim.
Right.
Who knows? But guys usually don't go from 0% to 42%. It just doesn't happen.
Mm-mm.
So, I mean, in the long term, it's all up to Ben. Just like it was in Philly, the success of the team going to the finals, because you make so much money and you have the ball, you need to have the ball in your hands to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to come down to you. Who are you as a person and as a player? Are you willing to do the work?
Right. And if you're a guy that's ball dominant, KD is a perfect player to play with, because he doesn't need the ball
no,
to get
not
his
at
points.
all.
No.
But here's the thing: Kyrie needs the ball, and that's another thing nobody's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie is not Eddie House. He's not like a guy that just catch and shoot. Kyrie needs the ball in his hand, and he needs to dribble the air out of that ball. He needs to dribble the grip off of the leather. He needs to dribble the evolution off of the basketball in order to score. And yeah, he scores in bunches, but his game has to change playing with Ben Simmons, and they're going to have to figure out what to do, because in the playoffs, the transition buckets aren't always going to be there. In mid-January, when you're coming down the court against the Sacramento Kings, yes, Kyrie can be off the ball and Ben could kick it to him, and he could just shoot one from the elbow and knock it down, because you'll get 19 attempts at that a game. But when you're playing the Milwaukee Bucks, a fully filled out roster, a lot of that stuff's not going to be there. And Kyrie, it's up to you to start making people better as well. You're going to have to get down and truly be a leader and try to get Ben there, that might be the weirdest combination of mental anguish that I think we'll ever see in the NBA.
Yeah, KD got his hands cut out for him.
And KD ain't got the thickest skin in the world either. You know what I'm saying? This is Burner Twitter, King Quitter, and Brother Sunflower. You see what I'm saying? Like, the dude doesn't. You got two players that don't want to play.
Right.
And this is where I'm not gonna let up on Kyrie. Bro, like, you said you were being a leader. You didn't want Harden there and all this stuff. And you're happy. You're burning sage now. And you're ready to compete and win for a championship. Dog, y'all don't understand. Ben needs help. He needs help. This is Steve Nebraska in the Scout before the World Series. You got to go find this guy and make sure he's ready to go. Because, you made some additions and all that. And Seth Curry's a nice piece. But he's on a rental. And he is a defensive liability. Andre Drummond is who he is. He's a big body, but he can't guard Embiid or Giannis.
No.
They eat his lunch every single time. They ask him, is he going to eat that cornbread? And they take it before he answers.
Nah, that's not like the Andre Drummond move they didn't make that move to say, all right, we have the Embiid stopper or the Giannis stopper. That's just someone that's going to step in front of him.
Exactly.
Be a body. Be a presence down low. Like, I don't care if you block the shot, just alter a shot. Get the rebound.
And then, shout out to Red. She says Ben can't keep that team floating like Harden was. And that's the thing, because James Harden can get on the ball, off the ball, and he's got all the point guard skills, plus as a scorer. I think that's what Brooklyn's missing.
We shall see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'm gonna expect anything from Ben this season, because it's 30 games left, 25 games left.
Right. And I don't think he's gonna be back by that March 10th game in Philly.
Nah. So I just think whenever he does come back this year, the Nets will make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we'll see, we'll see what he can contribute to, to that playoff push. And we'll just go from there.
So breaking news today. The lowly Knicks, the lovable, or matter of fact, the unlovable losers that are the New York Knicks, have sat Kyrie down. They came to a mutual. Kemba. My fault. They sat Kemba down, right? I would just want somebody to sit Kyrie down too. That's why I think I just can't stand the guy. But I just got to admit it. I don't like Kyrie Irving. I think we just got to that point on this podcast. I'm tired of him.
Well, you see, New York is about to, within the next couple of weeks, about to lift that.
Well, we got to talk about that.
Yeah.
If they lift the vaccine mandate, that's going to help the Nets with their playoff position. It's not going to help the Knicks though. They stink.
Yeah,
so let's move on to this next breaking news. Kemba Walker, a mutually agreement with the New York Knicks. They're going to sit him down for the rest of the season. What do you think is going on there? They say he's an expiring contract if he comes back next season. But what is the purpose of sitting him down this season?
I have no idea.
He might be your best player.
Yeah. He's up there.
And I coupled this with the news that Adam Silver's upset with guys sitting out, like John Wall in Houston.
Adam Silver was behind the mandate might be getting lifted in New York.
I know he made the comments and he said it doesn't make sense that a visiting player can be unvaccinated and play, but not a player from the home team. Like scientifically, it doesn't make sense. Which I've never disagreed with. But I've always said if you care about your team and you really want to be a leader, you'll just get the shot and play. Andrew Wiggins did it, and now look, Andrew Wiggins is an all-star.
Starter.
Yeah, starter. So Kyrie, what did you not believe in? Andrew Wiggins became an all-star starter. So, my thing with that is with the Knicks, what? First of all, they blew huge leads last week.
Yes.
They lost to the Kings at home, and then they blew a 28-point lead to the Nets, who were depleted after the trade, and all they had was Seth Curry, Drummond,
and Cam Thomas.
I'm asking you this. How do I want to put this? How safe do you think Thibodeau's job should be?
He's getting fired.
I think he should have been fired after that Nets game.
He's getting fired, yeah.
I think, we've seen Stan Van Gundy get ousted. We've seen guys like Alvin Gentry get ousted. We've seen Fizdale get ousted in New York. I think it's clear that the game has passed Tom Thibodeau by.
Yes.
Now, the Knicks fans, I was on another podcast, shout out to the Starting Five podcast. They're saying like, oh, well, no, you got to give them another year because they weren't expected to do this good. Last year was an aberration. My man, you just blew a 28-point lead to a team that had 8 available players.
Mm-hmm.
Unacceptable. And it was at home.
Mm-hmm.
This is my thing. Tom Thibodeau, everywhere you go, you're trying to recreate the Chicago Bulls who did not win a championship. You have not adjusted how you build a team. You could not keep the Timberwolves together.
Mm-mm.
You blew that. You got ran up out of Chicago.
And he tried to build the Chicago Bulls in Minnesota.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And then now you're at the Knicks. You brought Taj Gibson and tried to do it again.
And D Rose.
I believe if Luol Deng would have called, he would have picked up the phone. Same thing with Noah. He would have just took anybody from the Bulls. And then now, look, your players are worn down. And when you're starting to blow 28, 30-point leads to lesser teams, they're not playing for you. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Knicks fans, it's over. Get this guy out of here. I think it's time to fire him. I think he's an overrated coach at this point.
Yeah, the Knicks had high hopes after that surprising 5th seed. What were they?
They might have been fourth last year. Yeah.
4. They shocked everybody by finishing 4th in the East. I was one of them people that was saying that even though I'm not a Knicks fan, the Knicks had the Garden rocking last year.
Look, it was good to see basketball back in New York for 2 months.
And I always said, I'm like, basketball is good when the Knicks are relevant.
Yeah.
Like, you need the Knicks to be relevant.
Reg makes a good point. The biggest problem is Knicks fans still keep going to the games even when they're trash.
Yes, and then I was about to touch on that, Reg. The Knicks still sell out.
Yeah.
Like, all the stars still pull up to Madison Square Garden. Like, it's the world's most famous arena. Like, everybody's gonna show. If you throw a ball in the air, there will people be there to be watching it. But that's what all New York sports teams, like, they sell out. Like, the Giants and the Jets are really bad, and that stadium is packed every Sunday.
Word.
So that's just you know what I mean, being sports fans up there. Like, you ride or die for your team. Like, we're not fair weather fans. Like, we're not gonna, the team is bad, we're not gonna show up. Like some teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when we're good, like, they're gonna show love. When we're bad, we're gonna show love. We're gonna complain.
Yeah, we're gonna come there and boo.
But we're gonna show up.
Right. And I thought it was crazy that they didn't make any moves at the deadline. Yes, they were 7 games under 500, but you were still in the play-in game, and you could have made a move to. I guess I don't know what move they could have made.
Right.
But if you're just gonna go this route and lose on purpose, send Julius Randle somewhere where he'll be happy. Yeah, don't do this to anybody.
Yeah, they should have been sellers.
Yeah, they should have been sellers at that time, or just a swap. Like, hey, Julius Randle for, I don't know who's out there. I don't know off the top of my head. A couple of players got moved around though. Mm-hmm. Just send Julius Randle out for a collection of veterans, and let's see if we can compete. Send him out to Sacramento.
Yeah, give me some of them expired contracts you got.
Julius Randle out to Sacramento for a Sabonis. For that trade Indiana made, Julius Randle could have gone out there for that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they would have taken it because he's worth something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I think New York is a joke of a franchise right now.
Absolutely.
And they need to fire Thibodeau and then get it right this offseason. I thought it was very telling when Thibodeau said he didn't agree with the Cam Reddish trade. He never wanted Reddish there. Why would you say that publicly?
I don't know. Tibbs, like you said, he's an old school coach.
Yeah.
So I think he looked at Cam Reddish as a guy that, even though Cam Reddish plays defense,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I just think Thibodeau was just like, he's not my kind of a player. He still wants to compare guys that he get, like especially wing players. He wants to compare them to the young Luol Deng that he had.
Right.
Like Luol Deng, he plays defense. We drafted a young Jimmy Butler, play defense. Like they cut their teeth on the defensive end. Guys now, they don't really care about defense. They don't care about one-on-one defense no more.
No.
So it's just all about, if you score, I'm gonna go score right back on you. That's the NBA we're in now.
And the Knicks aren't the only team going through that 1 year wonder stuff. What do you think about the Hawks?
Yo,
they're starting to bottom out a little bit.
Yeah.
They can't stop anybody.
No.
And they're not scoring the same.
What are they, like 10th, 11th in the East?
Yeah, man.
I think, well, before the season, when we came up with some playoff predictions, I think we both had the Hawks in that like 6.
Yeah, I had the Hawks as a mid-seed.
Yeah. Ah, man, I don't know what's going on with them.
Let's talk about Zion Williamson. The reports are he's not really communicating with the team. He might have to go in for another foot surgery. He's 340 pounds. So he's Albert Hainsworth right now. What do you think the Pelicans should do?
Cut bait.
So do you think it's time to cut?
Yeah, they just said they sent out emails to all the season ticket holders and then left Zion off of the program.
I'm one of the people that like CJ McCollum coming there.
I like it,
especially if Zion's there. I think that's with Ingram, you're a player away from doing something in the West.
But then this guy Zion has yet to reach out to CJ.
Yeah, he hasn't talked to him yet. Where do you think Zion's angling to play?
I think, even though Thibodeau didn't agree with the Cam Reddish trade, I think that trade was made to get Zion to come to the Knicks.
To get one of his guys.
Because you got Barrett and Cam Reddish all played at Duke with Zion.
Okay.
They went to Duke all together. So with that trade being made, I'm guessing like we can get Zion. This is an attraction. 1, New York is an attraction, and 2, we got 2 of your best friends.
So you think that should Tibbs be the guy to coach Zion though?
No,
I don't think so.
No, I think Tibbs will be gone.
Because Zion will be 10 years older a year after playing for Tibbs.
I think Tibbs will be gone, but I just think that trade was just to try to angle Zion to come to New York.
Gotcha.
But if I'm Zion, like I got BI, and then I got a proven scorer in CJ. Like I'm gonna ride this out.
Pop says Tibbs is a control freak. What up, Pops?
He is. He definitely is.
And then shout out to James. Welcome. Zion is on his way out the league already. I don't know if I think that's a little extreme right now, but I'm not gonna rule that out.
I'm not either.
This is looking like a head case situation.
It's looking like Greg Oden all over again.
Oh man. But see, Oden didn't go willingly. His kneecap exploded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Zion's got a foot injury. You can come back from foot injuries. Oden never hit 300 pounds. This is more Andrew Bynum or Eddie Curry than anything. You know what I mean?
I give you Eddie Curry.
Yeah, Eddie Curry ate his way out of the NBA.
Curry,
He had the heart problem, but even when it got fixed, he just quit. He just started spreading out like mustard. And then that was it. So I'm just wondering, man, with how this situation is going to play out, because for a guy like Zion, you're not going to go to another good team. No good team is going to trade anything of value to bring you in there.
No.
You know, you're not going to a big 3 super team situation. You're going to the New York Knicks. And for every game you don't play or every shot you don't make, it's going to be loud. I don't know if you're ready for that, sir. You know, so that's going to be interesting. Let's talk about, let's not even call it All-Star Weekend. Let's split it in 2. First, we're going to talk about the contest, and then let's talk about the game. So as far as the contest, what was the most enjoyable, I guess, aspect of Friday and Saturday night in Cleveland?
I like the I like the new twist that they put on the skills challenge.
Okay.
I've always been a fan of unless you're putting the big names into the contest. If you're not going to do that, I think the 3-point contest should be the main event for Saturday night.
I've always said that, and I think they should add a little, find a wrinkle or something to throw into the 3-point contest, because guys are shooting from playing in gyms, the white line now,
right?
You know, the logo.
I think the wrinkle that they added a couple years ago was them 2 Mountain Dew balls. That's a little further back from everything else. That was the wrinkle. So you want them to add something else?
Something else, yeah. Like move the racks back. Like the 3-point shot is kind of regular now. I always thought they should move the line back. At the elbows and at the top of the key. Because it's getting too easy. It's getting pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like Embiid is shooting fall away 3-pointers with ease. It's like it's time to upgrade. I don't know if you make the court wider. I'm not sure what to do, but you got to do something. But in my opinion, the slam dunk contest
is terrible.
I honestly, it needs to be the first thing they do, and they only need to have rookies. That's it. Say, look, which 4 of you rookies want to join the slam dunk contest? That way we can lower everybody's expectation. And if we happen to get somebody spectacular or magical, then okay. What do you think? How do you fix the slam dunk contest? Because to me, first of all, I'm gonna ask you, was that the worst one you ever saw?
Yes.
By far?
Yes.
Okay. I've seen some bad ones, man. I've seen some bad ones. Kobe was in one, and I was not impressed.
I think the one Kobe won, I think all of those guys beat these guys.
Hands down.
Yes.
Hands down.
Yes.
I was not impressed. How many people have we seen ball in Timbs and jump up and dunk?
I seen Riley Freeman dunk on the Boondocks in some Timbs in a full sweatsuit.
Dave, you from Jersey City. How many people dunked in Timbs? I'm sure you've dunked in Timbs.
I've seen quite a few people dunk in Timbs.
Yeah, I was not impressed by that.
No.
The dance was like, all right. But I don't even know how much time Cole Anthony spent in New York, so I don't even want to get involved in that because he's way too young.
He went to high school in New York before he transferred to Oak Hill.
Okay, all right. So he was there through high school, and then he transferred to Oak Hill.
Yeah.
All right, I got to give him his. All right, I'll say that because I was like, look, his pops had money. He probably came up in Rancho Cucamonga.
He went to high school
in
New York.
So let's see. An attempt in the dunk contest should be started when the dunker jumps in the paint. That's what Red says. They should put that rule.
It's
because there was way too many attempts.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling how like guys miss so many dunks.
Yeah,
like we got Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon spoiled us because
they did
in their duel. Neither one of them missed any dunks.
No,
every dunk they did attempted was done on the first try.
But they did dunks that even if they missed, I would have gave them a 10 because you almost got it.
To answer your question, I think to fix the dunk contest, to get stars like Ja Morant, like Anthony Edwards, to get guys like that in a dunk contest,
prize.
I think you got to put a cash prize in it.
$1 million.
I think everybody they're making $1 million already. I think you say there's a $5 million pot.
Okay, and then between all the players,
there's a $5
million, the PGA Tour, wherever you finish, you get a piece of it.
There's a $5 million pot.
I'm sure they can get a sponsor to pay for that.
Yeah, for the winner take all.
Ja Morant, Anthony Edwards, who else? There's some other leapers out there.
Yeah, like off the top, like it's them two by far. And then I'm pretty sure like if those two guys or just one of them guys put their name in the hat, then I think you're gonna get other guys like, hold up, I want a piece of that action.
Oh, right. Let's bring back Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine for a redo against the newcomers.
Right. The dunks that happened in the All-Star game was better than the full dunk contest.
Oh my gosh, it was horrible, man. I was out and I was watching that and I just say, yo, this is cringeworthy. It reminded me when they gave Nate Robinson 742 chances to screw Andre Iguodala out of a win with the most difficult dunk of all time. My pop says get G Leaguers. There's some highly athletic G Leaguers out there.
Yes.
Bring them up.
Yeah.
Go get Jordan Kilgore of YouTube. Get some of these super leaper guys that do this for real.
Yeah.
And put them against some of your top players for a huge cash pot. I would say that. But I said I don't think that'll happen because they act like the money's not there, which is crazy. But I'm pretty sure a sponsor could pay for it, right? Like Nike would definitely. Somebody will get in on that action.
Absolutely.
Puma, whatever.
Absolutely.
Whatever. Even if they got to wear Puma headbands, I don't know.
Absolutely.
But I think you should just get all rookies because you say Levine and Gordon spoiled us, but guys like LeBron and a couple other guys, they cheated us by not getting in the dunk contest for so many years. So this way, let's lower expectations. Stop with the anticipations of what might happen. Just let 4 young guys that can really leap just go at it every year and have that come on at 7:00.
Yeah.
So I can go to bed.
Yeah. My thing with LeBron is and why he never got into the dunk contest.
Yeah.
He's not a dunk contest type dunker. He's an in-game dunker.
Yeah.
So like if you notice, he's been doing the same 3 dunks from high school all the way to now.
Who, LeBron?
Yes. It's the same dunks. The one hand, the cradle, and then like it's the same. So he doesn't have any creativity when it comes to, he just jumps really high.
Yeah.
So
but that's part of the thing too. Like jump higher than the other guys. These guys couldn't jump high.
No.
This was not elite athleticism, which was the problem. Obi Toppin was the best leaper, but he's so long, he didn't have the quickness in his limbs to do what he needs to do.
That's a disadvantage to tall guys in the dunk contest because it's like that's not really difficult for you.
Right.
Like that's what drew people to Nate Robinson, because it's like, oh, he's a little guy, and for him to just give me a regular dunk and we're gonna give you a 10.
Right. Spud Webb to me was like, that was it.
Right.
And then D Brown with the Batman dunk. That was one of my favorites.
Even guys like Steve Francis like impressed me, even though like Steve Francis' only downfall was he just happened to be in the same dunk contest as Vince Carter.
Yeah.
So like the dunk Steve Francis was doing like would probably win a dunk contest, but you were there with Vince.
I know there's a guy in the G League who might not be a good player, or there's somebody on the NBA bench that can do some Jay Rich type dunk.
Matt McGloin. He could get in there when he could have won that. He could have won that dunk contest.
Yeah, because Jason Richardson was one of the best dunkers too. That was like some video game stuff going on. People always bring up Vince Carter, but Jay Rich got busy that year.
And we need to NBA. We need to tell these guys that's in the dunk contest, stop wearing old jerseys and trying to attempt those dunks because because Toscado Anderson, you came out with the Jason Richardson jersey on and you couldn't do the dunk he did. Don't do it no more.
Disrespectful. And whatever happened to the foul line dunk? I would have loved to see just somebody dunk from the foul line. You win that contest going away. I'm not as upset as I am because that's still a very difficult dunk. People just still can't do it.
No.
But I just felt like they didn't have the best athletes. I don't even look at Cole Anthony as a dunker. That's why I was like, yo, you're like a solid young guard right now. You're talented.
They had guys in the 4 guys that was in the dunk contest are just in-game dunkers.
Yo, I don't know, man. I think they need to do that. I wouldn't mind seeing like, maybe like, I don't know, 2-on-2. NBA Jam style, right? Mm-hmm. Have a few different teams sign up. Like, you don't got to be your 2 best players, but let's see, I don't know, take the bottom 8 teams in the NBA, right? Mm-hmm. They're not in the playoff race anyway. Say, yo, send us 2 of your players, a big man and a low man, to run 2-on-2s to 12 or something, or to 15 or 21.
Yeah.
All-Star weekend at different ends of the court.
Hey, Orlando,
and have a tournament.
Hey, Orlando, you don't got any All-Stars? Just give me 2 of your guys.
Exactly. Bring 2 of your guys. Let's have a 2-on-2 tournament. Steal from the big 3. Do the big 3 All-Star weekend. Go out there Friday. Start it on Friday. Then you have the Rising Stars game. Then finish it up on Saturday. Then you go in the skills competition. All of that. Mm-hmm. That would be dope to see. Guys run 3-on-3, 2-on-2s, or whatever NBA Jam style. Just call it the NBA Jam tournament.
Right.
You know what I mean? Bring something back. Just do something other than that. Because until guys are risking their lives coming out of the rafters on cables and harnesses dunking, it's not going to get any better. Zach LaVine, I think Aaron Gordon probably ended it.
Yeah.
All right. So enough of talk about what pissed me off and disgusted me. Let's talk about the All-Star game. Was Steph Curry's performance the best you've seen in All-Star history?
Yeah.
16 threes out of pocket.
Yeah.
He wasn't even looking at about 6 of them.
Yeah. He had the extra crowd. Did it go in?
Yo, that was crazy. My man Embiid was this close, but He's the reason he didn't get MVP. They didn't win because he allowed Jared Allen to block his dunk.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a cool moment.
Yeah, Jared Allen had to get his back.
Yeah, and he's in Cleveland where he's playing. I liked seeing Jared Allen in the All-Star game and Darius Garland. You know what I mean? I thought that was good. We got to see some new blood in the All-Star game, even though guys were out because they were hurt and stuff like that. I appreciated that.
Yeah.
You know, as far as the All-Star game, how entertained were you?
I was entertained because you're gonna get what you're gonna get from the NBA All-Star game.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think I like the Elam ending. I like the little target score. I like that. I like that little wrinkle to the game because it makes sure that you're gonna get a hard-fought game in the fourth quarter. It makes it now. I mean, before when they would just let it go, then that was just a dunk contest in the All-Star game. But I like the target scores. I like how they break down each quarter and then add it all up at the end. I like that.
So it's been a while since I've really been a fan of the All-Star game. I will say the Elam ending is better, but I don't know what they can do with that, but I want to see something more. I don't know. Like, I don't know if money to charity is enough. Right. Money to the players, man. Like, yo,
I mean,
I don't know. Win this quarter and y'all get extra 20 grand.
I mean, the players do get paid in the All-Star game.
No, but like, all right, you know how they give money to charity? Not only that, but for every quarter you win, each player from that team that wins a quarter gets an extra 10, 15 grand. Because, look, basketball it's not like football, right? I understand why nobody wants to get caught by a safety coming across the middle in the Pro Bowl. It's a dangerous game. Basketball's it can be dangerous, but it's not really. I don't want to see guys moving out the way of shots they could block.
Right.
You know, like, let's get back to some semblance of competition for 3 of the quarters. I don't want to have to stay up all night till 10:30 to wait for guys to start playing defense. Like I said, I want to go to bed satisfied. You know, like every man in this world. I want to go to bed satisfied.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my thing, man. Just All-Star weekend. I need it to be better. And maybe a better location might do something too.
Yeah, Cleveland is just a...
Yeah, put that thing in LA, New York, and Miami every year.
Been to Cleveland before. It's nothing. It's not pretty.
Yeah, put that on the beach or in somebody's downtown or something. Yeah. Where's the All-Star game at next year? Do we know that?
I don't know. If it's close, I definitely want to go.
Yo, one of our viewers, Google that for us, man. Let us know where the All-Star game is at next week, man. I mean, next year. Let us know. About to say, and let's talk about LeBron James. What do you make of these comments? Firing shots at Rob Pelinka in the Lakers organization, while also saying that nobody should rule out him going back to Cleveland to end his career.
I think LeBron needs attention.
He ain't gonna get into the playoffs because they won't be there.
The Lakers are a dumpster fire.
Yes,
it's a perfect word for it. They're a dumpster fire. Nobody's talking about the Lakers. Nothing positive. It's all negative, and I'm guessing he doesn't like that, so he wants to like ruffle the feathers. He liked the shirt that the Rams GM had on for the parade. F them picks. So he wants Rob Pelinka to. I guess he wants Rob Pelinka to take that same stance as far as like the Lakers draft picks. But I don't think LeBron knows that he traded all his picks already to get you Anthony Davis. He traded all of them. And the one pick they have is in 2027. LeBron's not going to be there in 2027. So you don't have any assets to trade. He's mad that they didn't make any move at the deadline. The only move that you can make at the deadline is AD or Russ. And the money that they're making, can't nobody take that on besides the Rockets.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you want Rob Pelinka to do? And then now, since you want to say that don't close the door on you going back to Cleveland, if I'm Rob Pelinka, I trade you to Cleveland and I gut Cleveland's roster.
Cleveland will do it.
Cleveland will do it.
I think Dan Gilbert will do it.
Yeah. If I'm Rob Pelinka, you give me Darius Garland, you give me Jared Allen, you give me Evan Mobley, and you give me a couple first round picks, and you can have LeBron back.
Oh yeah. You could take LeBron, Kevin Love, and Colin Sexton. Good luck, Cleveland.
If I'm Pelinka, like, this is the door's not closed, all right, go.
Yeah, because right now the Los Angeles load managers, I don't know what they're gonna do. See, I'm radical. I like to say, as soon as I see a hole in the bottom of the ship, I'm jumping ship. We're gonna address it right then and there. I'm not gonna wait until the boat is 90% down and I'm at the top of the ship doing this. Yeah. We're not doing that, sir. I would have probably traded AD at the deadline this year, hurt or not. Mm-hmm. There's a team that he can go to and sit on, and I would have replenished my draft picks and took back some shooters off the bench from somewhere to at least try to make a run at the back end of the playoffs. And then next year, let's reload and go and do something else. You know what I mean? I would have jumped in a trade or something. Westbrook would have went one way, AD would have went the other, and LeBron, I'm gonna bring you in some veterans, maybe see if we can pluck Kemba. You know what I mean? We'll put together a different roster, and you'll get into your playing game, and then we'll figure something out next year. We'll figure out what we're doing with you next year. But I'm not. He stuck them up, man.
Yes, he did.
He stuck them up. Listen, I'm about to go on a rant here.
Go ahead.
Let's go.
Go ahead.
Everybody kills Philly because we started tanking in 2014 to get where we are now.
Trusted the process.
Listen, the Lakers tanked at the same exact time as us for the same amount of time we did. They got more players that are all-stars than we did. We got 2 guys out of 5 years. 2 guys. Nerlens Noel, gone. Okafor, gone. Dario Saric, gone. Michael Carter-Williams, NBA abyss. I don't even know if he's still in the league.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Markelle Fultz,
crazy in the head. You know, all we ended up with was Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. And Ben quit on us. The Lakers out-tanked us one of those years, had a higher pick. You know, then on top of that, like, they had Lonzo Ball, Julius Randle, who else did they
Brandon
draft?
Ingram,
D'Angelo Russell, all players that are good players. They let LeBron come there and say, get rid of all of them for me and bring in the oldest players you can find. And now look, they got that one bubble championship. And that is not what you brought LeBron here for, was a bubble championship. Because if COVID doesn't happen, they don't win the championship that year. They never get a championship.
Yeah, I don't think they win it.
I wrote the longest Facebook article piece ever. I said, you cannot do this, LA fans. I don't like the Lakers, but you cannot do this. Y'all did not force Kobe out of the league to tank and then just to allow LeBron to do this so you can be bad for another 7 years.
And when you made that post, everybody thought you was crazy.
Everybody thought I was crazy. I was right about Harden and Simmons. I was right about a lot of stuff. And I was right about this because now I said, look, LeBron's going to be, he's our age, Dave. I think people don't realize, like, yo, this dude is my age. You see how trash I am. You know what I'm saying? This dude is going to be trash coming up. Y'all might want to do something else and keep these young players around. Say, hey, LeBron, don't come here unless you're willing to coach up these young players because this is the life of our franchise. But no, I got to get AD here. I got to bring in street clothes. That's my man. He don't even want to be here now.
You know, they always say LeBron makes everyone around him better.
Listen, I do need Twitter, Reg. I got to activate my Twitter. It is the most absurd thing. And this is when this GOAT thing comes into play, him doing this, you got to go down with the ship, LeBron. Don't sit there and fire shots at the GM because we all know you're the GM. You are part of the reason why Magic left because he said too many people had too much to say and I couldn't do my job. Nobody wanted to listen to the basketball expert that actually won 5 championships in LA. No, they wanted to listen to LeBron. And now look, they're going to be bad for 7 years.
Yeah.
Like bad basketball in LA. The Clippers are better than them now with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard out.
Yeah.
I would bet everything in my account on the Clippers if they played the Lakers right now.
In a 7-game series.
In a 7-game series tonight, out back. Like, yo, wherever they play them. At the Y, I'm taking the Clippers every time. Because those players, they fit together, they play hard, and their coach is not a lame duck. He's actually allowed to do his job, and he works with the GM. They made all the trades they needed to. So when they get Paul George back, they're going to be a force in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's a dark horse team because they might be the deepest team in the West. Chris Paul hurt now.
Mm-hmm.
You know that the Nuggets still trying to get fully healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Jazz ain't looking good.
Mm-mm.
All you got is the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And look, the Clippers can guard anybody. They just came on the East Coast swing and did nothing but come back from 25 down with nobody available. This is what I'm talking about. At times like this, I wish I was on the radio in LA because I would lead the pitchforks and the torches against LeBron. They should run him out of town for this.
Yeah, I said I would if you want to say the doors cracked open in Cleveland. If you want to go to Cleveland next year,
I got something for you, brother.
I will personally drive you there.
I'll put gas in the Tesla. Or I said gas in the Tesla. I'm wilding. I will plug the Tesla up, charge it, keep a spare battery on the trailer behind it just to get you there. Because like you said, I'll gut any other team, and I actually have a future with players that want to play and want to get better, and something the fans can get behind. Because right now,
Lakers have no future.
None. Anthony Davis has to go.
Yes.
Because you got to get capital back. Like, hey.
Westbrook has to go.
Oh, my God. Actually, I might keep Westbrook. If I'm going to bring in all young players and draft picks, let them play out that last year.
Remember when everybody was all glamoring over Taylor Horton Tucker?
Yeah.
And teams wanted him, and the Lakers said he was untouchable. And now they can't get, nobody, they just dangle him. We don't want him.
And they didn't even have like good trade targets either, because look at Buddy Hield. He got traded for nothing.
Right.
Much. He was a throw-in in a trade.
Right.
Like they weren't even on the right path to doing the right thing. And this is LeBron's legacy to me. Yes, you're one of the top 4 players of all time, especially stat-wise. You're probably going to get the scoring record because you're chucking threes. You're waiting until your son comes in the league.
Rate.
Right. You're waiting until your son comes in the league so y'all can play together in Washington or something. I don't know what's going on there. But at the end of the day, your legacy is going to be, I went to teams. I forced them to bend to my will. I got in. Once I cashed out, they were never good again.
And I don't like how he's putting all this pressure on his son.
Yeah.
Like I don't think his son is that good.
Okay.
I think he can get better. But right now, I don't think he's that good, even though like he's still got one more year of high school left. So he could get better, but then now he's gonna go to college because of his name.
Yeah.
And then now
he's gonna make the league because of his name.
He's gonna be a one and done because you already planting that seed to these NBA GMs like wherever my son goes, I'm gonna go there for 1 year. So now LeBron goes to your team for 1 year, your ticket sales and your revenue is gonna go up for that entire year. And then you're gonna reach and draft his son in the first round when he might be a second rounder. And then after that 1 year, when LeBron retires and your team is trash, now you're gonna be looking like, what are we gonna do with this?
NBA owners are like, they're just drug addicts. They can't help themselves.
Yes.
You know, and that's my thing. It's like, so James says LeBron's son might not make the league, and if he does, it'll be off his dad's name.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Let's sell sneakers.
Yes.
That's it. Let's sell sneakers. Let's sell apparel. Let's get them all the endorsement deals.
I want to be the franchise that has the first ever father-son on the same team. I want
Ken
to be
Griffey Sr. and Jr.
I want to be that first franchise in the NBA to do it. And like you said, GMs, all these GMs is like they're gonna rush to draft to overdraft him.
Yeah.
Just to get 1 year out of a 50-year-old LeBron James. Like,
and that's my thing. This is LeBron James to me for the rest of my life. He'll always represent when player empowerment, the dangerous slippery slope of player empowerment. And just to touch on that too, it's like, look what LeBron started. The owners are coming back for these players. Yes. They don't want to show up to work. They want to sit out. They don't want to play night to night. They're load managing all crazy. People don't want to rehab their injuries. They're trying to force their way from this city to that city. Contracts are starting to mean nothing anymore. I got a feeling guaranteed money is not going to be 100% thing anymore.
Yeah, team like these guys, these players is like I'm on a bad team. I got to do something to get out of here.
Yeah,
like nobody wants to like stick it out. Nope. Everybody wants to. Oh, we're losing. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go to another team, or we're losing. I got to get out of here. Like everybody wants to do that. And don't be touching back on LeBron. Don't be surprised that if the Lakers aren't making any progress, that LeBron shuts it down like he did his first year in LA.
Yeah, he's already shut it down on y'all once.
So now people are gonna say his LeBron stains are gonna say once he shuts it down and they don't make the playoffs or they get knocked out in the first round again, they're gonna say, "Oh, he was hurt." He's not hurt, man.
No, not at all.
He's not hurt.
And I honestly feel like he shut it down Game 6 last year against the Suns in the first round.
Yeah.
He didn't play that series out because he was driving like, oh, pass to Schroeder. Hey, let me pass to Horton Tucker.
Yeah.
How about this, LeBron? Attempt 35 shots. You're the only one on this team that can shoot now.
That was my problem. That Game 6, like,
yeah,
we were watching the game together.
Yeah, we were,
bro. Like, go out.
You got Wesley Matthews up there trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah, go out.
Up and under layups, surrounded by two people. It was bad, man.
Then you got the people. Oh, that's not LeBron's game, man. It's a do or die.
Yeah,
this is an elimination game.
And Reggie said, "Nah, they'll say AD was hurt. You know, that's all they ever gonna say. Oh, AD was hurt. AD always been hurt. But LeBron, when are people gonna say, yo, you got to raise your game? Kawhi does it. Paul George been doing it with Kawhi out.
Mm-hmm.
He almost knocked off the the Suns last year by himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like." This is what I'm saying. Why does no one expect LeBron to lift the way other guys have to? But they continue to make excuses.
And those and besides the bubble championship, those were the excuses. His first year at LA, when he shut it down, did what they say. Oh, he was hurt. His growing. Like, no, he came back and he see that they were losing. So it's like, all right, now I'm done.
Right.
Because we're not going to make the playoffs. And then they win the bubble championship, and then last year when they get knocked out in the first round, they say, "Oh, LeBron wasn't 100% healthy. His ankle was messed up, and AD got hurt." Like, when are we gonna stop making these excuses?
Listen, I'll say it like this: Embiid wanted Simmons going. He stopped working for it, and he wanted Harden here. If Harden gets hurt, Embiid is still gonna. People are still gonna say, "Oh, Embiid couldn't get it done," and that's fair. Mm-hmm. This is what you wanted, sir.
Yes.
So, however it plays out, it plays out. Same thing. Knock on wood if Embiid goes down, right? Hey, you know what, Harden? Guess what you got to do? Houston Rockets, MVP Harden. Take these non-centers and non-power forwards and make them play center and power forward, and you start getting this team chucking up threes like you've never seen before. And you can win some games like that.
Yep.
But, people kill James Harden. Oh, he never could get it done. James Harden ain't never had a team like LeBron James. Mm-mm. And in the eras that James Harden was at the top of his game, he had to go against the Warriors and Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James had to beat DeMar DeRozan in Toronto.
And Kyle Lowry.
Yeah. DeMar DeRozan was a mental midget. He had emotional problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm talking about. He had to beat up on the Hawks or, all this other stuff. I just want people to keep it real about what you saw with LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
When you put him up against Mike, there's no comparison.
Mm-mm.
Mike said, oh, Scotty's out. Guess what's going to happen tonight?
I'm going for 50.
Total slaughter. Like, that's it. Hey, you're going to put, I don't know, Muggsy Bogues on me? Guess what's about to happen? Oh, Gary Payton, you think you're going to stop me? Well, you'll never see Game 7. Simple as that. Scotty's got a bad back. Dennis is about to go crazy. The Bulls are really old. Guess who's going to finish off this series against this deep Utah team? Me. Oh, Brian Russell, you want to get physical? I got something for you. I'm going to shove you in the ass and knock down an 18-footer in Utah.
And tell you good game.
On the road. This is like, it's nuts. I just want, I hope we're still doing this podcast when LeBron retires, because I am going to lower the coffin. That's it. I want to be there to let him down, let his career down into the 6-foot grave. And I want to give the eulogy because we got to keep it real. Listen, you're one of the greats.
Mm-hmm.
I always said this. If I'm building a team, right, and I have nothing, and I'm a GM, fantasy GM, right, and it's about how can I get good really fast? Because LeBron plays forward and he has the skills he has, if I have to take him first, I would take him first over Jordan in just a whatever draft to get a bad franchise good really quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need to get to the second round of playoffs or somebody's going to shoot me in the head.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to take that because Jordan's a 2-guard. There's only so much a 2-guard could do.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he did drag a team to the playoffs after breaking a foot, a team full of cokeheads.
Yes.
Too. Yeah,
yes.
he dragged a team full of cokeheads.
Yes.
They were called the Cocaine Circus.
Yes.
So this is what I'm saying. But I'm going to take LeBron first in that respect. But if I want to win a championship, if I want to let other teams know and I want to build a program and do all that and develop a culture of winners and I want to be able to, just dominate my opponents, I'm taking Michael Jordan 10 out of 10 times because I got to look in your eyes and know that you want to kill.
Yeah.
LeBron doesn't want to kill. He's a house dog. Michael Jordan's a street dog. He's a street dog. This is what I'm talking, man. Listen, that was my rant, man. I just want people to keep it real about this guy. You're about to cut and run out of LA, and LA is going to be bad for 10 years.
I can't follow that.
Yeah, I can't jack it, man. Like,
I can't follow that.
They got to cut this out, man. Let's talk about Juwan Howard real quick before we get out of here.
Right.
All right. How much percentage of that whole situation do you blame on Juwan Howard? The post-game scuffle melee for anybody that doesn't know.
You know what? I'll kind of give more of the blame to the Wisconsin coach.
I do too. I think he started it.
Yes.
You don't stop my progress.
If he doesn't stop Juwan's progress and put his hands on him, none of this happens.
Yeah.
The assistant coach doesn't get slapped in the face or punched in the face or whatever Juwan did to him. The players don't fight. There's no nothing. If you just let me, you knew you did some foul-ish when y'all up by 15 and you calling a timeout. Even though I'm pressing, teams do that. When you're losing, you want to try to get the ball back.
Right.
How many times have you seen a team has dribbling the ball and then they let the shot clock run out and then they just, all right, we'll take the violation, your ball.
Yeah.
How many times? They're not calling no timeout because the shot clock going down. You were wrong for calling a timeout. Now, Juwan's wrong for swinging on the assistant coach. But I just think without
definitely
this,
wrong. You can't swing.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you're a coach.
Right. Because your reaction, you set off a chain reaction.
Yeah, it got crazy right after you did that.
I don't think it was a fireable offense. I'm cool with the 5-game suspension for the regular season.
Yeah.
He could come back in a Big Ten tournament and then in the NCAA tournament. I think the Wisconsin coach should have got suspended instead of fined. I think he should have got suspended as well.
I don't know how heavy the fine was, and I don't know his salary.
Right.
But yeah, I think you should have got a game.
Yeah.
At least a game.
At least.
Juwan, you rake somebody across the face.
Yes.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
you got to sit down. I honestly thought he was going to get fired because Michigan's just not that good this year. He came in with the a top, what is it? We had a top 5 recruiting class, if I'm not mistaken, when he took over. And now that team is barely above 500.
I think his top recruiting class comes next year.
Oh, comes next year. Yeah. Well, they're barely above 500 right now. I don't even know if they're a tournament team at this point.
They, you know what? As of right now,
they're on the bubble.
As of right now, they're in. But the good thing about playing in the Big Ten with a lot of ranked teams in the Big Ten is
strength of schedule.
Yeah, they got games. These next 5 games.
Yeah,
they could play themselves into the and 4 of the next 5 games are at home.
I got
so they should be able to get it.
Yeah, they got to run the table. I didn't realize Phil Martelli was the assistant coach.
Yeah, I seen that last year.
That might do things for them. Yeah. Like that might be a good thing right now. Juwan Howard
a common voice.
Yeah. Juwan Howard just might have needed some time off. You know what I'm saying? I honestly thought though he was going to get fired just when the team is not good. I understand you got a legacy there, but you set off a chain reaction where players start rumbling. Yeah. That's pretty bad when your coach is leading the charge. But I do think Wisconsin coach shouldn't have got away. I don't think it was a racial issue. People got to understand if you never. So that's one of the things I saw going around on social media. It was like, oh, that's white supremacy. And I don't agree.
Nah.
You can't swing. You can't be the one that swings.
Right.
You and Greg Gard should have had a disagreement, had the little separation, took your fines like men. Or really, y'all should have just talked after the game in the hallway or something,
right?
Like men, or talk to each other on the phone.
Because all Juwan said was, because Juwan was just gonna just give him the little brush handshake.
Yeah.
But all Juwan just said was, "I'm gonna remember that."
Yeah.
Because you're up big and you press. I mean, and you call a timeout.
And that guy was like copping a plea, like, no, wait, remember
so
what? Why?
So that's when Jawan said, "Don't touch me."
Yeah, don't touch me. Yeah.
And then it escalated. So
I did feel like Wisconsin's assistant coaches escalated the situation too.
Yeah,
there was one jacked up dude, looked like a trainer or something.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what's he doing here, man? Like, I didn't quite understand his purpose, and so it was just, it's unfortunate of what he did. I think he got what he got.
Yeah,
whether he deserves, you could debate it or not, but he should have got games for that.
Yeah, he definitely deserved to get suspended.
Yeah, but Wisconsin coach should have definitely got suspended.
Yeah,
you can't just be stopping people in their tracks and putting hands on grown men and stuff, because he was shaking hands. He was doing what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, but he just, when he got to you, he wasn't going to shake your hand.
Yeah.
So are you like, do you think that the NCAA should get rid of the handshake line?
No, because I think
it's tradition.
I think it's sportsmanship. I think everybody should shake hands. I don't think people should walk off the court like LeBron did against the Orlando Magic in 08, 09. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's good. I think you should shake a man's hand after y'all. It's sports at the end of the day. Now, if y'all had a rumble or something, I could see Tristan Thompson not shaking Draymond Green's hand.
Right.
And then Tristan Thompson caught up with him later in the street. You know what I'm saying? Okay, whatever. If y'all two want to do that, fine. But I do think opponents should shake hands after a hard-fought game. I just think there's sportsmanship. There still has to be a place, because at the end of the day, it's for the kids that are watching. Like, yo, we got to set a tradition, set precedents, carry yourself like gentlemen. So I think the handshake line has to stay in college, in college sports. If you get rid of it anywhere, it's the pros. I don't think they have to.
No, and then like the pros got rid of that. I know when we were growing up, the coaches after the game, they would go and shake each other's hand. Now the coaches, they'll just point down like,
it's respect. And in the NBA, they got their locker rooms, or they got to walk the opposite way anyway. But the players are always linking up, changing jerseys and recipes or whatever these guys do, because they're all friends now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or let me get your gamer tag. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. In college, how often are you going to run into two teams that have beef? You see what I'm saying? It's not like two colleges are next door to each other. Like Michigan and Ohio State are like right there. Nah, y'all can shake hands. Y'all can do that. So I don't know. And then also, there's so many other situations that can get hostile, like when fans storm the court while the other team is still on the court and they pushing you around after you lose by 20. I'm not so sure. If I lose a very close game and they storm the court and I'm getting pushed by opposite fans, I might swing. Somebody might get dropped, Jermaine O'Neal style.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's where I'm like, there's so many other situations that get hostile. I don't think the handshake line is one of them. I think this was an isolated incident. Now, if we see this happen more, then if people just start rumbling in college, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, but like Red Shed, baseball, they only shake their own team's hand. That's
at the end of the game,
yeah, that's pros though. Like, and then they're throwing at each other, and it's just a little more on the line there, ego wise.
And they do it in hockey, but they don't do it in the regular season. The only time they do it in hockey is after a playoff series. Then the two teams will shake hands.
Yeah, Pop says Duke, North Carolina, but they never rumble.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Coach K's got some self control. Yeah.
Even when Gerald Henderson hit Tyler Hansborough with that WWE forearm to the dome and split his joint, they didn't fight.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, all right. So I think we just ran through all our topics. We're coming down to the end of the show. Quick question by Reg. He says they were talking about this on the radio. Who had a better career, Iverson or Harden? I would have to say James Harden, but I don't rank him ahead of Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
I just think Harden had a better career.
Yeah, numbers wise, career wise.
And wins wise.
Yeah, and wins wise, I would go with Harden, because Harden, every team Harden's been a part of was better than Allen Iverson's best team.
yeah. As a Sixers fan, I gotta say that.
But I'm with you. Like, if I'm ranking them, I'm gonna take AI.
Yeah, I think
over Harden all day.
AI was the more impactful player.
I still got, like, as far as like two guards.
Yeah,
I still got Iverson as the third best two guard that I've ever seen. People are gonna put Wade at 3. I'm always gonna go with AI. I'm gonna go with Jordan, Kobe, AI, Wade.
I think Iverson
Jordan and Kobe are the only two guards that could have done what Iverson did with that 2001 Sixers team. That's it. I don't think D-Wade could have done it. And it's just, he didn't quite, he carried bad teams to the first round to get bounced. And they were like some awful teams. But to carry them all the way to the finals and steal a game from Shaq and Kobe Lakers,
right?
That's something that where AI keeps him in that top 3 2 guards of our lifetime discussion. So yeah. But yo, man, let us know what y'all think in the comments, man. We this is the first episode where we simulcast on Facebook. We also came through on YouTube. We see all the comments from YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So as we grow this thing and we're taking it to the next level, we're going to continue to upgrade, new technology, new everything. Super Dave is back wearing all green, looking like the Green Lantern in here.
That's right, baby.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, follow us, Indio Media Group on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Indio Media Group, Pick and Roll Podcast, episode 42. Yeah, man, I think we touched on everything. So we're going to say good night and peace out.